So where was your local video store and back like when you were first renting tapes with your dad? And how close does it resemble the video barn in your movies and your own 3B video store at your house?
So in my hometown, we had a few places we could rent tapes. We could rent tapes from the local grocery store, and they were like legit. They had the box art and everything. We had Casey's, which is our gas station, and it had like a small wall of movies.
Just stick them anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. But the coolest place to go, which was weird because my dad, he's a drinker, but there's a local bar called the City Lounge, and the guy who ran the City Lounge, he had like a book of titles, and you could rent. You wouldn't be able to see the movies. He'd just show you the book, and you go, okay, I want to rent Predator, and he would give you Predator, and it was in like a hard, like black clamshell. I can still remember the look of these hard black clamshells with like green stickers on them with numbers, and the tapes were just like regular tapes written with like marker, and you'd take this movie home. And it'd be like recorded off of Cinemax or HBO. You were renting these, and I mean, it was illegal as shit. But that's like, he had the best stuff because he would record, Cinemax movies at like 2 a.m. or whatever. And you'd get to see like Sorority House Massacre 2 or something weird. And like, he had the best stuff ever, but you were literally just renting off of title alone. You'd be like, sure. I don't know what Tremors is. Let's do that or whatever. Like, but none of my local video stores look like the video store I built in my basement, but there was a few that were like 20, 30 miles away. There was an old movie theater that had like one screen, but the whole lobby had movies you could rent. And then there was
that must have been a thing in the States then. Isn't that something like what Mikey had going off?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, I don't know what that is. That must just be a weird American thing, like, or small town America, I guess, because like get the best out of your lobby, like have two businesses going. But then there was this other place called Soundtracks, and it was like the guy who ran, exactly, it was, of course, right. And this guy that ran it, he had real long hair, looked like a discount dollar store version of like Axl Rose, and his name was Hippie Tim. And it sold CDs. It sold like all your bongs and pipes and stuff. But then it also had a big rental store in the back. And that rental store looks a lot like the one I built in my basement. Just, it had the most weird stuff. And it was only like 2 or 3 walls, but floor to ceiling movies. And then like one aisle you could go down.
Right.
But it was amazing. It always smelled like weed and popcorn. Yeah. And you're just like, you'd
yours doesn't smell like weed and popcorn.
No, it doesn't. No, it smells nice in mine. It smells like pumpkin spice or something down there. But and like there was a couple really shady, like nefarious guys that worked there. You could tell that place might have been like a front for something. And they'd be like, I remember this one dude that worked there. His name was Ben, and every time I went in there, he'd be like, "Have you seen Strangeland, the D. Snyder movie?" And I'm like, "Yeah, man, you had me rent that last week." He's like, "But have you seen it on DVD?" And I'm like, "No." And he'd be like, "You gotta rent it." And he'd like make me rent Strangeland. And then like I'd bring it back, and he's like, "We got the Strangeland soundtrack. Like, do you want to buy the soundtrack?" I'm like,
he's upselling.
Dude, yeah, he was like obsessed with Strangeland. And then I'd like, if I didn't go there for like 2-3 months, then go back in, he'd be like, "Dude, have you seen Strangeland?" I'm like, "Motherfucker, yes, I have. I own it multiple times now, thanks to you. So can you give me a different suggestion?"
I love that.